Man, karma is not real. I said it before and I say it again. Karma is not real because the rich and the wealthy is still living good. They still living large. They get to eat whatever they want, sleep anytime they want, do whatever they want, and without the repercussions. There is no karma on this planet. I repeat, anything goes in this world. There is no karma. It's up to us to give out and dish out the punishment towards the people that do you wrong. Plain and simple. The main reason why I'm talking about this is because I was watching a video on YouTube by the late great comedian Bernie Mac, aka Bernard McCullough. And at the last part of his comedian, the last part of his performance, he did a joke about the white man about a joke. He basically created a joke about heaven, about a white man, Spanish man, and a black man, a white man, Spanish man, and a black man. And overall, I can't remember how the joke goes, but the last part of the joke where he said that the Mexican guy said, "Hey Holmes, well, what did you told God? Say how did you get into heaven? What did you told him?" And Bernie Mac said he told God, "When will black people ever stick together?" And that was a very powerful statement, what Bernie Mac said. And it is so funny, too, when he said that when will ever black people stick together. And that's when God opened up the gates for Bernie Mac, because even he realized for the most part blacks would never have the ability to come together and stick together. But in my honest opinion, that was a subliminal message, too. It was a very powerful statement, but it was also a subliminal message towards the people that he worked with in Hollywood. But more importantly, that message, in my opinion, now I could be wrong. I could be, speculating all this. I could be wrong, but I'm just speculating that message was not only towards the people that he worked with, but also this major person, and that was Steve Harvey. That last part of his performance where he said that when will black people ever stick together, he made that comment especially towards Steve Harvey, because I heard some things about Steve Harvey on how he was very jealous towards Bernie Mac. The main reason why Steve Harvey was jealous of Bernie Mac because Bernie Mac had more talent than Steve Harvey. Now, don't get it twisted. Now, Steve Harvey, he's a comedian in his own right. He had his own show and all that, which is cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to pure comedy, Bernie Mac had it. Bernie Mac had the skills. And Steve Harvey, he didn't have the skills like that. That's why Steve Harvey, for the most part, used to be the opener. You know what I'm saying? The curtain jerker per se. You know what I'm saying? Opening up. He used to open up for acts. You know what I'm saying? During the Kings of Comedy tour time. You know what I'm saying? During the era of the Kings of Comedy tour, he was kind of like a curtain jerker. The opening act. But what Bernie Mac said, he was just saying that towards the people that he worked with, but mainly towards Steve Harvey. Because like I said before, I heard a lot of dirty things about what Steve Harvey did, during the time when Bernie Mac was alive and all that stuff. And for the most part, like I said before, no disrespect to the late, great Bernie Mac, but, no disrespect, but karma is not real on this planet. On this physical plane, karma is not real and anything goes. But they said, what about the spirit realm? I said, I don't know. I don't know about that either. It might be. You never know. It could be. It could be karma, some type of karma in the spirit realm. But on the physical realm, like Earth right now, in the physical plane, there's no such thing as karma. But karma will hit once people progress to the spirit realm. Once they die off from this planet, and once they go into the spirit realm, you never know. Karma might catch up to them then. Karma might catch up to them then in the spirit realm. But other than that, there's no such thing. But like I said before, man, Bernie Mac was a motherfucker when he said that, man. When will black people ever stick together, come together and stick together? And in my honest opinion, he made that joke towards Bernie Mac. I mean, he made that joke towards Steve Harvey. Bernie Mac made that joke towards Steve Harvey because he knew that Steve Harvey was jealous of him. He knew that people like Steve Harvey was jealous of him, and they would do sneaky things to not let Bernie Mac progress in life, to not let him progress in his career. And that's all I gotta say about that, man. That's all I gotta say. The moral of the story is that you have to be careful who you befriend and who you work with, because you never know. The person that you're working with, or that's your so-called friend, may not be your friend at all, and that person will backstab you in order for them to move on in life. Trust me, I know. And that's all I gotta say about that, man. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, man. So thank you so much and have a good day.